The Return of the Prodigal Son. The image you see is a painting by Rembrandt. I really got into a study of the messages behind this painting when I read a book by Henri Nouwen entitled The Return of the Prodigal. Nouwen was a Catholic priest who had a very busy schedule and commitment as a professor, a teacher, a lecturer. And at a certain point, he decided to leave all that to get to know in more intimate terms the human race, the intimacy of a friendship and of simple personal service. And he ended up in a hospice for severely handicapped people under the Dayspring Ministries, I believe it was called, outside of Toronto. And his responsibility was to care largely just for one man, a man who was so severely handicapped that he would never dress himself, properly feed himself, or give thanks to Nouwen for all that was being done for him. But Nouwen would not regret the expenditure of time and lost opportunities in this service because he saw in it the essence of Christian love and the heart of a loving father. Now, this picture Nouwen saw when he visited the Hermitage Gallery in St. Petersburg, and it just fascinated him. And he was able to talk to curators and various people and study the picture. He was a great believer that images have spiritual fruit after prayer and meditation. And he saw so much in this painting. Perhaps it is my favorite. Oh, I got the darn screen going off again. I gotta make it come back. There we go. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. It's my favorite parable of Jesus, followed closely by the one about the wedding banquet and what is done there for the various guests who attend, including one who doesn't come in the right frame of mind or heart. Anyway, back to the prodigal son. Look at the father. Look at his bending down and embracing, almost bringing into his inner man, his gut, his heart, his loins, the head and upper body of his son. He's so eager to forgive and to renew fellowship. The son is a mess. He's in tatters. His shoes are no longer useful. He's been through a terrible experience, having left home, squandered his inheritance, spent a lot of time with harlots and drinkers and wastrels. And then finally the day comes where he's starving. He's got nothing left. He's got to find a vocation, something to bring in food. And he ends up working for a farmer. He, a Jewish lad, working for a farmer tending hogs. And basically getting to eat the swill that the hogs eat. And one day he just decides, this is not right. In whatever capacity, I'm going back to the home farm. I'm going back to my father. And that is that crystallized message of repentance unto life. So he hits the trail, he makes the journey home, and he is met with tremendous joy and hospitality and feasting and gifting by the father. But there, standing over to the right, leaning on his staff, is the elder brother. What's his attitude? Well, this is one slob of a kid who wasted everything, just left all responsibility, left it all with me. And now he expects to come back and receive immediate forgiveness and be welcomed back into the family as if nothing went wrong? This is not right. I mean, people know very well I'm the one who's kept the farm going. I've done it all on my own shoulders. My dad's getting old and older. And this youngster comes and puts on the show and we're all supposed to accept it? Well, that is the pontificating, judgmental attitude of the elder brother. And the father says, look, son, he's back. He's back from the dead, in effect. We have only to rejoice. We have only to rejoice. So the father extends love toward both of these sons, and they both have problems. Now it says, there were times early in the faith I saw myself as the returning prodigal. There were other times when I got established in ministry that I became judgmental and haughty and sure of myself. And that's when I became the elder brother. And oh, how shameful that turned out to be. But sometimes as well, I see the possibility of my being like the Father. Gracious, giving, celebrating, forgiving, finding ways to love all those around him. And oh, how Nouwen, and oh, how we desire to be like the Father. And that's God in the parable. And I would suspect the repenting believer is the prodigal, and I would suspect that the self-assured church, with all their panoply of programs, could stand in the position of the elder brother. But there are other people, there are other observers. Look at them. They're watching the process. They're curious. They're transfixed by these images of love and of a new beginning and of healing. And that's the testimony to the world that must be shown through the church and through this wonderful parable message. Thanks for listening, folks. I'll call it at that. You might want to look up the book by Henri Nouwen entitled The Return of the Prodigal. Thanks very much.